you focused all of your life, your savings, your income, and everything is dependent on something. And with the swipe of a pen, 250,000 airline pilots are about to be on the street, just as qualified as you. And you think, what am I going to do? So that really made me think about my safe, secure job that I thought I had. Now, luckily, I never lost my job. I still am an airline pilot. I still fly. Was Continental, now United Airlines. And I love what I do. But it made me realize that there is no such thing as a safe, secure job. And I have a couple of people are nodding their heads that maybe you've gone through something like this similar in your own lives, that if you are not protecting and looking after yourself, no one else will. Would you guys agree with that? Is that a safe statement? Well, what happened was I started really trying to figure out what I could do to leverage my time. And I really like the idea of real estate, because real estate is something that you can buy and you don't really have to do much to, because I watched all the books, I read the books, I watched the TV shows, and they were just sitting on the beach. And the money was just coming in. I thought, well, I could do that. That's easy, right? I could go to the beach. Who couldn't do that, right? And I thought, okay, I'm going to get in real estate, and that is going to be me. Now, you notice all the hair that I have at that point. And anyone that owns real estate knows that that maybe is not exactly the truth when it comes to owning real estate. Right, Steve? Right. There you go. Steve and I go way back, actually. So what happened was Pete, my business partner, and I started to buy properties. Okay? And we first started off buying apartment complexes. I started flipping properties. I was wholesaling properties. I actually sold Steve one of his first properties back in, what year was that?
I want to say it was 2004.
2004 maybe, yeah. So we go back a ways doing this. Wholesaling, flipping, trying to understand. Did pretty good, made a good amount of money, bought an apartment complex with it, sold the apartment complex, and like about 2007, 2008, when the market was crashing, you guys all remember that time frame, right? And what happened was I decided that we were going to start buying some houses. So my business partner comes to me and says, hey, I got this great idea. I'm like, what is it? He says, I found these deals. They're low barrier to income, low barrier to entry. We can get right into them, and we can buy a lot of them. And everyone is renting. I'm like, okay. He says they're called low-income houses. I'm like, why just buy one? Why not buy 20 of them, right? They're such good deals. So within about a year to year and a half, we buy about 20 of these beauties, low-income properties. And that's kind of where our story begins and where our troubles start. So this property right here, this is one of the beauties. This was a duplex in a not-so-great part of town. It was going to be a 60% cash-on-cash return. One side was going to pay for the other. Made all the sense in the world. Let's buy this as quick as we can before someone else gets it, because it's boarded up, so we want to hurry up and get this thing because it's a gem that no one else sees, right? You guys see that line right there? You guys see it's kind of hard to see with the light. You see that line? Well, that's a sewer line that was never dug to the property. How in the world this house could have existed for 20 years without a sewer line, and we happen to be the lucky guys that bought it and had to learn that once you put a tenant in the property, there's a thing called Texas Property Code that says they have to have sewage. And then we learned what it's like to get permits and upset tenants, right? This became our standard move-out for our properties. We had an average tenancy of 8 months. Our make-ready costs were 3 times the amount. Our tenants seemed to, when they would leave, they always like to take parting gifts with them, like wiring, AC units, ceiling fans, and it seemed like if they didn't do it, the neighbors would come and they would kind of help themselves to stuff as well. So it was kind of like a little swap meet going on when we'd come back. So all the cash-on-cash return that we were getting evaporated in the make-ready that we had to do. Has anyone ever had? I see a couple heads nodding, right? Yeah. So we were having some problems. Now this picture I find very interesting. Can you guys see the tape on the cabinet? What's very interesting about this tape, and you probably can't see it, but there's a radio and a piece of wood and some bricks and stuff in there kind of holding it up. Didn't really know what it was, and what we realized, our maintenance guy realized when he opened it up, is there was a snake living in there that the tenants just put in there and taped it up and then they left. So I don't know who was more scared, the maintenance guy or the snake, when he actually opened it up. We lost both of them. So this was kind of our life. Okay, so we were really in a bad way. We were making a lot of decisions based on emotion, because we were not running it like a business. We were doing things because we were getting desperate. because we were too close. Has anyone ever owned properties and done that before, right? You know you shouldn't do it. We would advertise bad credit okay, rent special, and guess what we got? The people with shitty credit that would drive up with all the stuff in their car, and we go, how lucky are we? Put them in on a rent special, and then they leave 2 weeks later with all the parting gifts of the house. And we're like, I don't understand why that didn't work. It should have worked fine. Well, you would think that at that point we learned our lesson, right? Got a lot of problems, not working. So what do? We buy another 15 more of these things. Yeah, so now we have about 35 of these units because we figured, well, we're halfway through the mountain. We might as well just push through and use economies of scale and buy more of these things, and we should be good to go, and this thing should work. This picture basically signified our life at this time, right? Has anyone ever had those sleepless nights where you've got all these mortgages going on, you don't know if you're going to pay, you're afraid to look at your phone in the morning to see if a tenant is going to skip or not skip? Has anyone ever done that before? Am I the only one? One guy in the back. Interesting. Yeah, we've all done it, right? So this was about my life. Now at this point, my wife said, if you buy one more, it better be nice because you'll be living in this house. So this is how my life is going. I'm thinking to myself, I'm an airline pilot. Why am I doing this? I have no reason to do this. And I'll explain some of the challenges that I had and some of the mindsets that I had that made me go down this path, which was the wrong path. So my business partner and I sat down and we said, okay, we have a problem. Like, first of all, we need to stop buying shitty houses. That's our first problem. But the other problem is we need to figure out what to do with these properties, okay? And so what we decided was we had three options. First option was sell them all. Now, this was during the recession, so we were going to take a major hit on these properties. The second option was hire a management company. The third option was figure out a system and manage them ourselves, okay? Well, me flying airplanes and him working in the IT industry, he did not want to do it, nor did I. So that wasn't really an option. The second option was we couldn't sell them because we were going to take a bigger shellacking than we had already taken every month from losing and everything. And then the third option was hand them over to a management company. Well, that's good. We own an apartment complex. We know what to do. We're just not doing it because we're too close to it. So we called some apartment complex or some management companies, and lo and behold, nobody would take them. They were like, no way, we do not want these properties. And we're like, what do you mean? They said, no one will touch these properties. So after about 3 months of interviewing companies, basically being told no, my business partner comes back and says, we have a bigger problem than we thought. Nobody wants them. I'm like, what do you mean? He says, nobody will take these properties. He says, we have to fix this ourselves. So we weren't going to sell them. We still believed in real estate, but we also knew that we were doing things wrong. So we sat down and said, okay, obviously we're not the smartest people in the world because we proved that. But we're not the dumbest either. And we can create some structure, policies, and procedures, run this like a business, and we can actually make this work. Excuse me. So what we did is we sat down, and for the first 6 months, we basically plumbed how we would think, as investors, we would want our management company to run. And we basically